Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about the Valaverse Vanguard, the gray version. I got this one. I missed out on the pre-order when it happened, so it was in stock and I wanted to try it out. Like I've been saying, I've been a big vehicle whore lately. So yeah, I want to try this out. And it's crazy because when they announced this, I actually saw one on the road when I was traveling to do conventions. I actually saw one on the road in Ohio and I saw another one in Texas, so it's pretty cool to see that. So yeah, here we have it. It actually looks really good. There's no weathering on it, which I'm okay with because I can't paint to save my life, so I let everybody else do that kind of stuff. But it does look pretty cool. I do like the clear visor here for the headlights. I do like the design of it, and seeing the truck in person actually did do a lot of justice for me. I left the back door open, so I'm actually gonna close that up. Now, real quick thing. This thing is tall, like height-wise. Like, you gotta understand, I'm a short person, so I think about this as being like a short person getting up on this. You actually, it's gonna take some work, but I do like the idea of how the doors open, you know? As you can see, we have our doors opening here. Look pretty good. And again, I feel pretty weird about reviewing things lately because everybody kind of shows off already what things come with. So I feel kind of crazy talking about it. But then here you have your little gear shift. Let's see if we can get a focus on the inside. Right? And you'll see from the perspective, it looks pretty good. I like the doors opening. I like the lining on the hatch up top. As I did that, I did this and nobody saw that because and I left the top part open on purpose because I want to talk about that. Here we have the label, Resvani. And then we can open up back here so you can store person or items back here. You know, the usual kind of stuff. Again, the clear headlights are really nice. Here we have the little latch for when you hitch things on the back. And then here on the driver's side, we have more options. Maybe put that open from the inside. We have our steering wheel. Oh, whoa. So I didn't know that. That's one thing I didn't know, is that if you turn the steering wheel, you actually turn the wheels. That's actually pretty cool. So that is a nice and cool feature. I actually didn't know about that. And that's kind of why I enjoy going in blind, because it allows me to kind of enjoy that level of stuff. Okay, it looks like the seat does shift and you have little pedals here too as well. So let's check underneath. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close this up, gently rotate it on its side, like tipping a cow, right? And this looks like, nope. So I thought you would be able to shift the seat, but I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a button for it. I just have to find it because I got a little greedy and jumped straight into this. So, yep, there it is. So you can move your seat up. So I moved it up just a little bit, but you can actually shift it backwards one or shift it up one. As you can see, I'm doing right there. So you can see the difference between the seat that's there and here, and I can move it back just a tad bit. So that's actually pretty cool. Is that an open gas cap? The gas tank? It looks like, so you might be able to remove the gas cap, but I don't have the nails for it. Yeah, it's removable. I don't have the nails for it. But these are actually really nice features and things like that. So the overall body of it is something I very much like, and you can put to use it. So for me, as you guys can see, I do not have a lot of space. So everything I do is very focus centered. It's very focused on points. So using this as a prop, whether it be foreground, background, or a setting tool, is actually pretty fantastic. And that's actually what I've been doing as of late with stuff, because there's no way I'm going to be able to fit this in a dial. So I have to use this as like a dial piece. We also have this very nice feature. I believe this is also seen on the Vamp and the Stinger, which is pretty cool. I like that everybody kind of includes that because that's what these vehicles are supposed to do. So that's pretty nice. Now I'm going to wrap this back up. One more thing I'm going to talk about before I finish wrapping this, well, I'm already done wrapping it up, is that I do believe this can come off. Yep. So you do have a shovel as well. So again, a lot of nice features that we've been getting across the board with vehicles like this or similar to it. But I do want to say it is a big vehicle. It really is. And now we're going to talk about accessories and the driver, because again, I jumped straight into opening it. I took a picture yesterday and today I'm reviewing it. So by the time it goes up for you guys, it'll be like the same night, sometime late tonight. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's get into those accessories. All right, let's get into those accessories. Now, PSA, real quick, please do not be scared to read instructions. It's very helpful. I'm not scared of it. Got my instructions right here to help me out. And that's because I got too excited, jumped directly into it, and I played myself. So yeah, read instructions, cool. So first thing I'm gonna do is start off with our top. You will get a lid to close the said top in case you don't want a magical sunroof, right? Because you don't want to mess up things for that. And here you can just kind of place it in. Now mine gives me a little bit of trouble with our latch here, because so I do one side in and I squeeze in just a little bit, and then I gotta push down. But I'm not gonna do that now because it's kind of tough to get it out. I do recommend getting a heat gun. It's very important, right? So be careful. But this one right here, this one has no trouble sliding in. So it just slides in at the top. So I'm not sure if you can see that well, so I'm gonna lift up just a little bit. And then here we are with having it rotate around, kind of like it has grooves and ratchets to hold it in place. And it's actually pretty good. That's actually kind of something that you want, which works out pretty well. With that, we actually are going to be able to get a dual mounted heavy machine gun. I do not know which caliber. I'd be a liar if I said that I do know, and I don't, so I'm not gonna. And you can actually place these right here. Now, my only gripe about this, placement wise, is that you cannot rotate it up or down. That is the only issue. Otherwise, I would really like it, but you can't aim down at said enemies. And again, I don't know much about guns, but I know these things probably can shoot very far. So I would have loved for them to be able to hang down. And I'm assuming the reason why they can't is because the weight distribution on this probably would have dragged them down, because these actually plug in really, really well and they hold up really, really well. But I'm assuming if it would be able to move up and down, it would cancel that out. So I'm not sure, but maybe that's what it is. But I'm gonna pop this right out. I'm gonna leave that over there, and we're gonna talk about the backhand side. I'm gonna just gently lift that out, as you saw there. And we can see I left one of the gas tanks in. If you can't see it, what I'm gonna do is turn on the flashlight, right? Ooh, so you can see right in there. These are, you can place one on each side in case you do anything. So yeah, you have that. Now, one more thing that's actually pretty cool, right? And I like this, is the idea of this turret could be mounted in the back. So you actually slide it in through this tab here. You can rotate it up, down, rotate it closer in. I have it rotated clearly the wrong way, but you can do this. And even if you didn't want the gun on, you can take it off. Let me actually rotate it back down. Not paying attention. But you actually get a lot of wiggle room. This mechanical arm was actually pretty cool. I like the idea of this one. So you have to line the tab up correctly. So I have it turned the wrong way. Let's actually rotate it back, right? As you can see, it lines up really well. What's also really cool is you'll get one of these, one of the ammo containers. I'm not gonna call it a pouch. I'm assuming this is gonna be lined up with your weapon, because you are going to be able to store this here on this side. Oh, it's an ammo feed. Ammo feed, that's the word. See, ties right in. Again, don't know much about guns, but I try to use the simple terms that I know. You'll also get a short-term bullet effect for it as well too. And then we haven't even talked about our driver Reaper, but we'll get into Reaper right now, because the last thing I want to do is make sure that you know that it does come with decals in case you want to dress it up. Oop. Yeah, there we go. I had it upside down. Student driver. Now, these are all things I'm not going to use. I'm not a fan of decals, mostly because I always attach them wrong. So not for me. I will probably try to add a black wash to mine after I finish reviewing it and getting hands-on with it. But we're going to talk about Reaper, and I'm going to use that in a different segment because I want to talk about the new neck articulation compared to old stuff. So let's get to talking about it. All right, quick story. So we're going to talk about Reaper. He does come with a base, a nice little gravel-like base too. Then you will get two unique features to him, which are pretty funny. You'll get a little thermos. A little coffee cup, little Vanguard logo, as well as the word Vanguard for his energy drink. I'm a coffee guy myself. I don't really do energy drinks. And then we have Reaper himself. Now, Reaper, I took the head off. I I had to heat it up because it is really on there. This is the Reaper with the helmet. Now, the reason why I took his helmet off is because Reaper has something new, that new neck articulation. This is something I talked about all the time. This is going to be something that makes me want to get all the figures over, because I do like the figures a lot. I feel like, but once we got this, it'd be really nice because these guys have really nice deep ab crunch. We already know how I feel about army builders with that. Like, I love that deep crunch. And as you can see here, this will add that extra emphasis and layer of personality for photos for me, as we can get a lot more aim with it. So yeah, I'm gonna add that helmet on now so you can see what I'm talking about, right? It's on there. Now, when we pose this guy up, right? Because he has beautiful butterfly joints and ab crunch. And then we can do something simple like, so posing like this, I know it seems crazy, but it looks a lot better for that natural posing, right? Or when you're squaring up, you can add that extra emphasis and personality to him. See? Looks really good. So this is actually the thing I was the most excited for. The van was the extra cool bonus. But yeah, even stuff like now, because he has that really cool, I really like this design. He has that really cool design. I can give him a little backpack and a little parachute. And even outside of just being a driver, he could just, because he looks really cool. So I really enjoy these. We actually have the extra boots. Oh, the boot swivel is a little different here. It doesn't cut at this boot, it cuts at the pant. Still got that double joint. You have our drop downs. You have your super crazy thigh swivel. And like I said, we have one of my favorites. It's going to be that ab crunch and that neck articulation. Now, when it turns to popping this bad boy in, which by the way, you can actually pop the doors off, but I don't think I need to do that. But we're actually gonna place him inside, see how he looks. Maybe I do need to pop the door for everybody to see. Maybe, let's see. Let me see if I can get this right. And I'm popping my door. Yep, there we go. So you guys can see what's going on. I don't want you to feel like I'm hiding anything, because it's cool. Like, this is the kind of van like 87 bodyguards will have for like a celebrity. But as you can see here, he fits comfortably inside. And we're gonna obviously try other figures as well. So yeah, looks really good. You will get your standard hands with him as well too. So you're gonna get your weapon holding hands for 2 hands. You're going to get your 2 sets of vertical trigger hands. You will get your set of normal item holding hands with horizontal pegs. And you will get a small firearm, secondary firearm with him. I'm not sure what kind of, it looks a little futuristic, but I know it's a real gun. These guys are big on having the real stuff. But as you can see here, fits comfortable inside, looks really good, no issues. Now, we're gonna pop, oh, do we have suspension? No suspension, no suspension. I had to double check. So, we're gonna see how many figures we can put in this bad boy. I'll see you guys in a sec. So, we're not gonna necessarily do a size comparison, but I will compare to the Stinger at the end so you can see just how much wider it is. But we are gonna compare how people fit in the seat. So, excuse me, let's get into it. I'm gonna take this bad boy out. Be a good boy, Reaper. There we go. So, Reaper's out, as you can see here. First things first, let's compare to, I guess, the smallest. We're gonna do SHF Guile. I've been using Guile because he's like the American trope, right? And he's SHF. So he's a little bit bigger, right? But he should be able to fit in there if his big old buff knees would just slide in. There we go. So yeah, technically Guile fits in with no issue. Even his hair has clearance. Just in case you can't see it, I'm gonna move it up just a tidbit. There you go. So yeah, Guile fits in, just big buff legs. So just be careful when you're clearancing them out. You might wanna just slide it out like that. And I should have thought of that sooner, right? Next, I'm gonna do Haya Toys Rambo, because Haya is one of the newer lines and it is a bit smaller. But just in case you wanna do a cool shot of Rambo, like driving through a barricade or recreating something, maybe more modern, we're gonna see how Rambo fits. Shout out to Rambo. For those of you that know that Rambo joke, thank you, right? So technically, Rambo also fits, but you do have to deal with his ab crunch and make sure he presses in properly. But Rambo fits as well, right? Next, I'm gonna do Lightning Collection because for some reason I can't find a proper Marvel Legend at this time. But Lightning Collection is literally about the same scale as Marvel Legends, and I like using Phantom Ranger. So here we are with Phantom Ranger. I don't know why I keep putting their arms like that, but as you can see here, even if we move the seat up, this bad boy fits or moves back. So in the case of the higher one, we could have moved the seat up, but I didn't think about it then, right? Then we have a G.I. Joe. So we're gonna use the Stinger's driver, right? I'm gonna set him up to go in. And the thing I like about toys and I'm trying about a bunch of new things is that we can actually see where a bunch of the stuff is going. So even if you move him up as well, Stinger driver fits in as well. So yeah, this is pluses all around for those of you who like mixing your lines like myself. So you're gonna have a good time. Last but not least, we're gonna do Mezco Snake Eyes because you definitely want to try and see if your Mezco stuff can fit as well. And I think the tolerances and space-wise, I think we can do it. I think we are going to be able to fit a Mezco in there as well too. And look at that, it almost slid in with no issues, right? But looks like Mezco works as well. Even, let's see about moving the seat up. Yep, still fits. He actually doesn't sit a little flush if you move it up, but if you move it back, he's also fine. So that adjustable seat does help a lot, like a whole lot. So it's pretty cool to kind of have that there. Now, I'm gonna leave it like this because you're gonna see like sideways just a little bit. I'm gonna grab the Stinger real quick because I don't think these two really compare in terms of size, but I know some people are curious about it, so I'm trying to help. And as you can see, one is ridiculously larger than the other, but one is like I don't know if this is based off of like an ATV or a Hummer. Again, I don't know that stuff, but I know this one is more of like a sport utility, well, the size of like an SUV, those kind of big things. But as you can see, scaling wise, even if we like, I turn this to the side and I put them where even the wheels are supposed to match at, you can see that one is definitely larger than the other, right? So yeah, you get what I'm getting at. But as I was saying, hope you guys have enjoyed this. I try to be as informative as possible, especially because lately I like the idea of going in blind and kind of enjoying the toy as I go through it. And this was a pleasant surprise. The one thing that really got me was Reaper and a new neck articulation. Very important to me. But I think the fun to be had is dealing with the seats being different. You can actually not attach the door. So I can do cool things like blow the door off and do like Mr. and Mrs. Smith stuff, like your cool assassin flicks, or just throw people in the back. But again, I'm at that point where I'm like using these as props, and I find that kind of stuff entertaining for photos. I get to try something to do a little different. So I hope you guys enjoy it, for real. So in the meantime, please, as always, be good, do good, drink your water, guys. Later.